I guess it's okay to use the word Indian because the U.S. Census Bureau uses it. I'm looking at the demographics of the city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I'm doing this for a reason. You've probably heard the story that the Biden administration has decided that it would be prudent to take down the monument of William Penn. William Penn is, well, he's effectively the founder of Philadelphia. You know, he participated in designing it, laying it out, nice grid, easy to get around. He effectively founded the colony, then the state of Pennsylvania. Penn, that's his name, William Penn. Sylvania, that's a word, I think, Latin, that means woods, like Transylvania, across the woods. Pennsylvania, Penn's woods. So he's wholly, totally involved in the origins of Pennsylvania and Philadelphia. It just makes sense that there would be a monument to honor him, but the left-wing moonbats, you know, the woke moonbats, they don't seem to see eye to eye with that. They want the monument to come down and replaced with an Indian. That is to say, a Native American Indian. Not an Indian from India or from Indiana. Now that's a little bit confusing because Indians from India are Indians and Indians from Indiana are Hoosiers and Indians from the United States are Native Americans. So we got our terms straight. But we're going to call them Indians for the purpose of clarity. What is the demographic component of American Indians? And we'll throw in Alaska Natives. In Philadelphia, I'm looking at it right here. It says 1%. So we're going to take down a statue. We're not, they are. Take down, I don't know that anybody voted on this, by the way. They just did it unilaterally. Take down a statue of William Penn and replace it, I guess, with an Indian. I don't know that they've actually announced who or what they're going to put up there for a city where there are no Indians. Well, there's 1%. How many white people are in Philadelphia County? How many black people are in Philadelphia County? Surprisingly, 44.6% white and 43.0% black or African American. And that's a misnomer there, unless they're from Africa. They're not African Americans. You know, I hear people referring to blacks in Europe as African Americans. They're not from Africa. They're not from America. They just, is this a synonym for black? Why don't we just say black? You know, it's like Indian. Just say it. We know what it, everyone knows what it means. Well, that's something the woke left likes to do. They like to be confusing and mix things up. So now why would we want to keep William Penn's monument there, and why would they want to remove it? I think we want to keep it because to honor the founder. Just that simple. Let's remember, this place would not be here if it weren't for the efforts of this guy. Now keep in mind, this guy, William Penn, was, by the standards of his day, today we would call him a liberal. In the colonial era, a lot of people, they were loyalists to the crown. They wanted their colonies. They didn't want to form a nation. But William Penn was forward thinking. He wanted to unite the colonies effectively, I guess, in a nation. And he was one of those advocates that went against the flow. And eventually he won, you know, obviously, because we're here. He was a man who insisted on being painfully fair with the Indians and dealing with them in the acquisition of land. If we were going to take their land, we weren't going to take it. In the sense that we steal it, we were going to purchase it, and they were going to agree with it, or we weren't going to do it. And so he would have a council with 50% Indians and 50% colonists, and they would have to come to an agreement. That's the way he worked. You know, he was a Quaker, very religious man. And he had a very strong ethic identity. That is to say, he believed in doing things honestly and correctly. He is a man who should be honored. So what Indian they're going to put up in a non-Indian city, non-Indian state? Got no idea, but I'm sure it'll be, some of the dumb monuments these people put up, they're like modern art. They look plain silly. And I hope they don't disrespect Indians, Native Americans, by putting up one of those stupid modern art style monuments. But my guess is that's exactly what they're going to do. So why are they even doing this? Why we ought to keep, I've already made my case, keep William Penn's statue there. Well, what is their case? Their case, as stated, is they want the city to be more welcoming. And if you tear down all the monuments to our founders, how is that going to make the city more welcoming? I mean, do you understand, speaking to woke moonbats, do you understand why everybody wants to come to this country? Why don't they want to go to Cuba? Why don't they want to go to Venezuela? Why don't they want to go to any other socialist country? Why do they want to come here? Well, it's because of the stuff that our founders did. I mean, our ancestors did. And the legacy. They want to participate in that. And these people, these wokesters, are tearing all of that down. That's what they call welcoming. And that's not welcoming. You're driving them away. If you take away the character of our culture, you're taking away the very thing that is attracting people. Well, that is welcoming people. The park where the statue is located is called, I think, Welcome Park. And that was named after the ship upon which William Penn arrived to what is now the United States, the colonies. The ship was called the Welcome, I think. But they're not being very welcoming. They're trying to erase our culture, erase our history, and try to reform it into something else. So I think they're being disingenuous when they're saying, "Oh, we just want to be welcoming. We want to be. We want everybody to feel like they're a part of this." And that statue of William Penn, it's running against our objective. Now I think they're lying. I don't believe that's their objective at all. What is it then? This is my belief. What is their agenda? I think it is, number one, globalism. Number two, Marxism, or we could call it globalist Marxism, or we could call it Marxist globalism. That is their objective. Now, here's the problem with that. There have been over the millennia multiple times of people trying to advance a globalist agenda. These were the empire builders. Most famous, of course, is the Roman Empire. It doesn't work. It doesn't last. And they've also tried to formulate socialist economies and cultures. Not one of them worked. The one that works the best, the economy and culture that works the best, is the one that I'm sitting in the middle of right now. I mean, literally, sitting right smack dab in the middle of Indian country. Well, Indiana. There are no more Indians here than there are in Philadelphia County, but we kept the name because we're not jerks. So here we are, the greatest country on earth, the greatest culture on earth, the greatest economy on earth. Everybody wants to come here, but they don't want this. They want to have a globalist socialist economy, both of which don't work. For example, Sweden is no longer Sweden. Now, I can't think of anything about a socialist economy, and the Swedes, I think, don't see themselves as socialist. They see themselves as free marketers, but they have what we would call a safety net. Some people think that's socialism, and in a sense, I guess maybe it is, but they have this social safety net. So nobody goes without. And it worked for a while, but then they started bringing people into the country who made the safety net their livelihood. And for some reason, it doesn't work anymore. Sweden, Finland, Norway, the Scandinavian countries. And what we're finding happening in Scandinavia, also true in the British Isles, also true in Ireland. They hate Ireland. For some reason, they want it wiped off the earth. Virtually all of Western Europe, they have stained it with their cultural Marxism, globalist Marxism, And now, just in the last few weeks, Poland is falling, and South Korea is falling, and Japan is falling. They want the world to be one big mix, so we all get along, right? Well, again, we said that globalism has never worked. Empire builders proved that. Socialism has never worked. Cuba proved that. The Soviet Union proved that. The People's Republic misnomer of China is still proving that as long as they have a free economy, they do well. When they do a socialist thing, they blow up. It doesn't work. But here they are tearing down our monuments so they can get us out of the way. They want us out of the way. This is important to pay attention. They want us out of the way because we are rugged individualists. We are innovators. I was looking at a meme the other day, looking at it today, of the wife of Mr. Benz. I don't know his first name, but the guy, I think he is credited, among others, but credited with inventing the automobile. Several people are credited, but this was the image of his wife sitting on a three-wheeled automobile, and the caption was saying the first person who ever took a road trip or something to that effect. And she did. She needed to go, I think, to her mom's house, who lives some miles away. And rather than hook up the horse and carriage, she just fired up the three-wheeler. And for the first time in world history, there's this little woman taking a road trip, and everybody look at it. Can you imagine how loud that thing had to be? But, she drove down the country road. First time ever. That's what we gave to the world's population, to humanity. And they want to tear that down because they have this moonbat idea. I think it's a cult-like theory. It's almost a religion. That somehow their theory, their hypothesis, is going to work if they can just get hold of it. And we know it's not going to work. We know what works. We've been making it work. Again, I live right smack dab in the middle of it. I can see it. I go out and take walks now and again, and I walk across the interstate. Well, I walk on the bridge that goes over the interstate. And I look at the traffic and the commerce going back and forth, and look up in the night sky, and you see Elon Musk has these little gadgets up there. And you watch planes flying by, and this is the greatest economy on the planet. Don't mean to reiterate myself. This is why everybody wants to come here. We did it right. And they want to tear it down. I mean, literally, they want to tear down our statues. They want to tear down our past. They want people to forget what we have accomplished for them, and they want to demonize us. That is why they're tearing down the monument, among a zillion other things, in Philadelphia. If you got something out of this video, well, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll see you all next time.